Some bombshell news out of Lubbock on Monday. Texas Tech quarterback Brendan Sorsby, maybe the number one target in the transfer portal for anyone in college football, had been at Cincinnati, coming into the Red Raiders, and he is now under NCAA investigation and has entered treatment for a gambling addiction. ESPN with the report on the NCAA investigation. Texas Tech announced that he is seeking treatment, obviously wanting to get ahead of the news that was coming from ESPN there, that Sorsby, while as a freshman at Indiana in 2022, had placed what it says with thousands of bets on sports, including some on college sports, including some on Indiana and Indiana football. According to the ESPN story, he never bet against Indiana, and he didn't bet on the game in which he played. He only played in one game that year as a redshirt. But the part of the story that is, if validated, is major trouble for Sorsby and for Texas Tech. If he did place thousands of bets, and he did bet on his own sport, and he did bet on his own school, that's a potential ban for the rest of his eligibility as a college athlete. The NCAA rules are pretty clear on that. Texas Tech certainly could try to lobby that, could try to fight for him to play here in 2026. If he emerges okay from treatment, is able to go back to playing, I would imagine the arguments would be along the lines of, this was 4 years ago, he was a freshman, learned from the mistakes, and has, gotten his life back together and shouldn't be, necessarily kicked out of college sports for something he did 4 years ago. But again, we don't know all the facts and figures of this. If he's seeking treatment now, was he still gambling in the intervening years or not? We don't know that, but clearly there's a potential for this to be a major penalty for him and for Texas Tech to suddenly be thrown into a bit of a spin cycle with its quarterback. And I think the Red Raiders probably were going to start the season as, again, being the favorite in the Big 12 Conference, a college football playoff competitor. They won that league easily last year. They did play in the playoff, lost their first game to Oregon, but did make it that far. And with the amount of money that they have spent on football rosters, I think see themselves as a perennial contender now. So where would they possibly turn? If Sorsby is unable to play, tough situation, because there is no spring transfer portal anymore. So the window of bringing in other transfers suddenly has shrunk or is very limited, maybe even closed altogether. Backup Will Hammond played a little bit last year, is coming off an ACL tear in October. So will he be ready for the start of preseason practice for the first game there Labor Day weekend? We'll see. Remains to be seen. So where Texas Tech ends up going with its quarterback situation will largely depend on Brendan Sorsby's ability to navigate not only his personal gambling treatment, but also the NCAA wheels of justice, which sometimes move slowly. But in this case, I would imagine they would want to have some sort of resolution sometime this summer. So we'll see where things end up there, but a jarring headline for sure, and another indication that gambling and college sports do not mix, even though they're often in proximity to one another.